All right, let's break down what just happened with the Israel-Iran ceasefire, because honestly, it's been a wild 24 hours. So, late Monday night, President Trump jumped on the stage and announced a complete and total ceasefire between Israel and Iran. He said it would start at midnight Eastern, which is 7 a.m. in Israel. But here's the thing, right after that deadline, there was a lot of confusion. Iranian and Israeli media said the ceasefire had started, but Israel's government? Total radio silence, no official word. Now, Qatar played a big role behind the scenes. They brokered the deal, mediating talks with Iran. According to the White House, Israel only agreed to the ceasefire if Iran promised to stop its attacks. Iran said fine, and the deal was set. Trump, meanwhile, claimed both countries came to him for peace. But Iranian state media spun it differently. They said Trump basically begged for this ceasefire. Here's where things get really tense. Even after the ceasefire was announced, the fighting didn't just magically stop. Early Tuesday, Iran launched several missiles at Israel. One of those missiles hit a residential building in Beersheba, a city in the south. 3 people died, 2 men, 1 woman, and 6 others were hurt. The explosion was massive. Israel wasn't sitting on the sidelines either. They fired back, hitting targets in Iran's capital, Tehran. People reported seeing anti-aircraft fire and huge plumes of smoke rising over the city. So yeah, the ceasefire announcement didn't stop the violence immediately. And here's another twist. Iran had just fired a dozen ballistic missiles at the US-run Al Udeid airbase in Qatar, the biggest American base in the Middle East. The US and Iraq said Iran actually gave them a heads up before the strike, so the base was mostly evacuated. Almost all the missiles were shot down and no one was hurt, but it was clearly a message tensions were at a boiling point. All of this followed the US bombing Iranian nuclear sites the weekend before, which really set off this 12-day chain reaction of strikes and counterstrike. Now, let's talk about fallout. Oil prices, which had shot up over 10% during the fighting, dropped fast as soon as the ceasefire news broke. West Texas oil fell to just over $67 a barrel. Brent crude dipped too. It was the biggest one-day drop in years. Travel was a nightmare. Airspace closed, flights cancelled, and major airlines like Air India halting service to the entire Middle East and beyond. Only now are things starting to get back to normal, with Qatar Airways and Dubai airports resuming business. So, in summary, a ceasefire has been announced, but it came after days of brutal escalation. There's cautious relief, but a lot of questions remain, like, will this truce actually hold? Stay tuned, because I'll keep breaking down these fast-moving events as they happen.